My name is Douglas Cowie. I'm a senior lecturer in creative writing here at Royal Holloway in the Department of English, and I'm also the director of the Creative Writing BA, the English and Creative Writing BA. Um, Creative writing as a discipline as an academic discipline is a fairly new thing in the UK. It's been going for almost 100 years, I suppose, in the United States, but only really since I guess the 1970s in the United Kingdom. And it's in the last about 10 years, it's really exploded across the UK. And there's new programs popping up all over the place every year. And I think that's a pretty exciting thing. It does raise a question for a lot of people about what is creative writing as a discipline. We think of things like biology and English and history as academic disciplines that are, I suppose, proper disciplines. And creative writing is a thing that is fun because people like to write poems and stories, especially when they're kids. But creative writing as a discipline isn't really any different from any of those other disciplines. What biology or history or English literature or I don't know why I'm making such a long list. Anyway, what academic disciplines do is they provide tools and skills for investigating the world. And creative writing does exactly that same thing. It just does it in different ways to history or biology or even English literature, although it's, in my mind anyway, it's a close companion of English literature. And you do a lot of the same things, but there are both subtle and unsubtle important differences between studying literature and studying creative writing. So you might read the same book, you might read a play by Shakespeare or a novel by Dickens, but the things that you do with that thing that you're reading are very different in creative writing, because you're not just interested in its historical context. You might not be interested at all in its historical context and the themes that it develops or whatever. What you're really interested in is the mechanics of how those kinds of things work. How does it sentence by sentence operate or not operate? How does the language create the effects? And then, of course, the important thing for creative writing, how can I do the same things? How can I create certain effects by putting together language, by creating characters, by creating plots and settings? That's if you're talking about fiction or plays. If you're talking about poetry, it's obviously a little bit different. How do I create rhythms? How do I use the sounds of words to create effects and meaning? And those aren't quite the same things that you would do in an English literature degree. Essentially, what it boils down to is creative writing is a discipline that allows you to investigate the world using your imagination, your knowledge, and your language, and in some cases other people's languages as well, because why not? It's creative writing.